Hi guys, it's Nicole and I am back with another layout for my Creating with Collections Volume 3 series. Today I am working on my July 2020 month in review, and it seems to be the further that I got into the summer of 2020, the less photos that I took for whatever reason. I'm sure it's because, we were hanging out at home a lot and going to the water park a lot and kind of doing the same things over and over again. And for whatever reason today, as soon as I go to start a voiceover, somebody wants to tear up my blinds. So if you hear anything crazy in the background, it is just a very moody kitty cat that for some reason, if you are alone in a room and you start talking, I think it weirds her out, because when my son unmutes his microphone in class, she kind of does the same thing. She comes flying from wherever she was just taking a nap and, shows up to just sort of wreak havoc on whatever it is that you are attempting to do. So like I was saying, with July, I think I have 10 photos. They are basically anything that I wasn't going to include in a dedicated layout. So like that first photo, you guys can't really tell what it is on the video, but I was hosing off the driveway in preparation for the bounce house water slide that I rent every year for the 4th of July. We typically do a big block party type of thing, so we usually end up being the ones to rent a water slide, and it just kind of allows for something for the kids to do and also be somewhat cooled off, because everybody else is kind of hanging out in garages and on the driveway and just kind of visiting and that kind of thing. If you've noticed before, a lot of my month in review photo collages include food of some sort. I know some people probably think it's weird to take photos of food. I don't, mostly because a lot of times if I'm trying a new recipe, I'll take a picture to remind myself sort of how it turned out when I attempted the recipe. I also tend to send food pictures back and forth with my sister. Whether it's takeout, drive-through, cooking at home. A lot of times she knows if I'm on a good food prep kick, she'll text me and be like, what did you make today? And I'll kind of send her some photos of stuff. I think one of these photos where my kids are back to back, my daughter had passed my son in height and they're 20 months apart. And of course that caused, a giant argument, and we had to have a conversation about how girls grow faster but in a shorter amount of time. Eventually, he'll pass her. It'll be tit for tat until they're 16 or 17. But we had a big, long discussion about, fairness of height, which if you've ever thought about debating the fairness of height, get an adult beverage before you attempt it. I'll leave it there. I even took a photo of my TV when I completed my first, I guess, grown-up game. I like playing video games. Everybody in our house kind of has a varying level of gaming. I tend to play more brightly colored, geared towards kids games. So I like a lot of the Mario, Luigi, Captain Toad, those kind of things. I love Lego games. I love the fact that thanks to walkthroughs online, I can 100% complete a Lego game. And I was getting a little bored, and so I had asked my husband, I was like, hey, do you have any games that you think I would be able to handle that isn't super graphic or high skill level? And he told me, you might try the Tomb Raider game. I think you would like it. And I absolutely loved it. I mean, there were some aspects of the actual gameplay that I was like, this isn't for me, but I can get through it. But it was a lot of puzzle solving, treasure hunting, that kind of thing. But with more obviously grown up type of graphics and like world building. And so I was pretty proud of myself. So I took a photo during like the end cutscene just to be like pat on the back of like, hey, you played something that wasn't geared towards 7-year-olds. So just those are the kinds of things that I find on my phone at the end of the month. And I like looking back on those kinds of things. The other things that were in there were like my kids built a blanket fort. The neighbor gave my kids some smiley face cookies. So I have a photo of Sarah eating one. And then I have a picture of my kitchen because I started April of 2020. I took like one section of my kitchen to go ahead and start painting my cabinets, changing out the hardware, that kind of thing. And then I got too hot, and with my husband working from home, I can't really like leave him with a bunch of smelly cabinet doors out in the garage. So one part of my kitchen and like 5 parts of my kitchen still need to be done. So I'm okay with that. I don't really care. If you walk into my house and you're gonna like nitpick the fact that I clearly have not had a chance to get back to it, then you were the wrong type of guest to have invited in my house to begin with. So eventually I'll get back to it. It's probably gonna be, September, October of this year when, if my kids are back in person, if my husband is back at the office, and then by the time it cools down enough to where I can be working out there, it'll get done at some point. So here is the completed layout. Again, I'm carrying over a lot of the same things from each month to month so that they all look cohesive, even though they still kind of look like a jumbled mess. But okay, that works for me. Do what works for you. And I'll be back with August month in review.